Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win, you find a way to lose. You can also find yourself succumbing to that goddamn Nigerian voodoo. Now, I've asked a question I want to know. Did Don Charles perform Nigerian voodoo on AJ? Yeah, that's right. Hood Champion asked the question. Now make sure you like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. Leave that donation for that fried rice and chicken wings. And put a little something extra on there in case I got to hire me a little witch doctor or somebody to combat what Don Charles may cast on me when he finds out I've done a video to expose him. Party people in the place. Anthony Joshua. Forget the knockout. He never stood a chance. Because Don Charles was, I believe, sitting there at his house in a dark room where he had little dolls around. Probably had a little strand of AJ's hair. Probably had one of his, some of his wraps, maybe a pair of boots. Who knows, probably had a pair of the man's drawers. And he killed two roosters in there and dripped the blood all over those items and handicapped AJ on fight night. That's why when AJ came in the ring, he looked in a trance. He looked hypnotized. Those were the words by Don Charles. Don Charles. I knew I could see it. I could see it. I knew we won the fight. That's what Don Charles said. I could see it. I've been around this. I know. He was in a trance. He was like hypnotized. I knew we had him. I've known AJ for a long time. I love AJ. But I knew he didn't stand a chance. Don Charles. You the only one talking about AJ was hypnotizing in a trance, man. We believe he was stiff. We believe he looked maybe a little nervous. But you the only one talking about like a spell had been cast on him. Oh, yeah. We know Don Charles went out there, man, and put a little Jaffa on him, a little Prince Hakeem and shit on Anthony Joshua. Yeah. And Daniel Dubois was semi. But this wasn't a case of coming to America. They brought that shit right there to the UK. Riyadh season in the UK. 96,000 people. So Anthony Joshua into that ring after a doll was created to resemble Anthony Joshua and had multiple pins pushed all in it to weaken the muscular, masculine body of AJ. You've never seen Anthony Joshua look that weak. You've never seen him look that vulnerable. You never seen him look that discouraged. And nobody was able to recognize what Don Charles recognized was Anthony Joshua looking hypnotized, in a trance, or like someone had cast a spell, like in voodoo. I mean, goddamn, Don Charles, hold your horses. Let's not take it to the voodoo. My boy came out here, man, and just he ain't put the beans on AJ. He put the pins. Killed the two goddamn chickens out there. Dripped the blood all over this man's gear. And weakened him. Now, my thing is this. Anthony Joshua, right? This is where people find out, what really is going on. He doesn't have an immunity to the Nigerian voodoo. Now, I know some of you are saying, well, no, Anthony Joshua, he's Nigerian, Hood Champion. What are you talking about? Hey, yo, McNicholas, hold your horses and stop taking it to the stupid. He ain't no goddamn Nigerian. He Nigerian like Edgar Blanca from Puerto Rico. His dad is from Nigeria. I believe his mother, parents are from Nigeria. She's born in the UK, or she may have been born in Nigeria and came to the UK when she was small. But the bottom line is he's of Nigerian heritage. But if he was born in Nigeria, I think his system would have had an immunity to that Nigerian voodoo. But he wasn't, so he was vulnerable. He was nothing but a British chicken and chips when it came to that Nigerian voodoo. He wasn't able to defend against it. Now we know when it comes to Francis Ngannou, I said the same thing. He came over there to fight Tyson Fury. I heard some of them Cameroonians chanting some shit. Umba yeah yeah yo, umba yeah yeah yo, umba ba 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 yeah yeah yo. Tyson Fury was in a trance. He was hypnotized. He was vulnerable. He looked like someone had cast a spell on him because they put that goddamn African voodoo on him too. Now, Don Charles, if he cared so much about AJ, why would he come and do the man like that? That's why AJ, like, I don't know what happened. Ben Davison, I can't explain it. Eddie Hearn can't explain it. 99% of the boxing community can't explain what happened to AJ. And then, after AJ gets knocked out, Don Charles didn't even alleviate the spell. He left the spell on him. AJ got knocked out. Chest to canvas, ass in the air. Fortunately, he had drawers on, which Don Charles probably cut a hole out of those motherfuckers. And AJ's leaving the ring taking selfies after he just got tranquilized by Daniel Dubois. Now, if you watch Don Charles, he's doing something with his fingers while AJ's walking away. And I'm like, I noticed, I'm like, yo, what the hell Don Charles doing with them? The thumb, the index finger, and the middle finger. He was pointing that shit at AJ. And next thing you know, AJ started taking selfies and smiling and happy and laughing. I'm going to hold my head high and this and that. And I said, what? So first, Anthony Joshua blows a gasket when he loses to Usyk in the rematch. Then he fights Dubois under that Nigerian voodoo, that spell that Don Charles casted on him. Gets his ass tranquilized. He never had a chance. That's why he couldn't keep his hands up. It was a spell. He'd keep his hands down. He weakened his body by taking them pins and sticking it in that goddamn AJ voodoo doll. But he come out the ring happy and smiling. Yeah, Don Charles, you talk too much. Now we know that you took it to the voodoo. Let me tell y'all people, if they're going to have a rematch, Anthony Joshua better be careful. Because they're over there concocting some wicked sorcery in the Daniel Dubois camp. And Don Charles. Don Charles wanted to have his dream come true, and he did it using voodoo. Came from Nigeria. I think he was 13, 14 or something. Happened to get in boxing. Ended up getting involved in security. Something led to something. Ran into Derek Chisora, got involved in boxing. And his dream was to become a great heavyweight fighter, or at least train someone to get to the level to where he's at now and have a champion. And Daniel Dubois helped him get that. Don Charles said, if I die tomorrow, I'll be at peace. And I want to thank Daniel Dubois for helping me achieve my dream. For that, I love him, which is to have developed a heavyweight champion and to be training a champion. But I'll tell you what, people, now we know, but at least I believe, why Daniel Dubois is out here putting the bing-bings on everyone. He hooked up with Don Charles, and Don Charles been putting that Nigerian voodoo on their asses. See, they put that voodoo on Usyk. But Usyk he's not normal. Shit didn't quite work on Usyk. Usyk had his own Ukrainian sorcery going on, so the voodoo couldn't quite penetrate the way they needed it. But it got Usyk's ass. But he managed to finagle his way out of that voodoo. Then they went out there and got Gerald Miller. Don Charles put that Nigerian voodoo on Gerald Big Baby Miller. Got him out the ring. Flip Hergovich came in there. He looked, hey, y'all notice, Flip Hergovich looked just like AJ. Totally out of it. In a trance. Huh? Like someone cast a spell on him. Don Charles in the voodoo. Then you come and fight AJ. And it's just a matter of rinse that chicken blood off and repeat. That's what they're doing, just rinsing the chicken off them voodoo dolls and repeating. You watch if Don Charles, something happened to him, Danny Dubois will never win again. Because it's that Nigerian voodoo Don Charles putting on these fighters. They better get that Danny Dubois into the biggest fight possible. The winner of Usyk AJ. Because if Don Charles is around, Dubois is going to win. But if Don Charles isn't around, Dubois is going to lose. Now you may say, damn, Hood Champion, you taking it to the stupid. You just making jokes. I ain't making no goddamn jokes. I really feel Don Charles cast a goddamn spell on AJ. These are his words, man. AJ looked like somebody cast a spell on him. He looked in a trance, hypnotized. I said, because you did it to him, man. Man, they try to ruin AJ, people. Try to ruin him. Anyway, I'm about to get out of here. I think I'm going to go to the doctor tomorrow to the immunizations clinic. See if I can get me a vaccination for that Nigerian voodoo. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.